anticipates the Firefly's role as the final antagonist of the game. They offer the player this almost transcendental sensation of hope within this otherwise hopeless world of The Last of Us. And then at the end, they seem to betray that hope by trying to murder a child. But we'll discuss that more when we get to the final act of the game. After the death of Tess, the Fireflies don't appear in the story again for a long while. Not until Joel and Ellie reach the city of Pittsburgh. In The Last of Us, Pittsburgh is an entire city that has been overrun by what the characters refer to as hunters, brutal human killers who prey on fellow survivors. But Pittsburgh wasn't always like that. Once upon a time, it was home to a quarantine zone ruled over by Fedra, just like the one in Boston. The people of Pittsburgh rose up against the oppressive government rule, but then afterwards descended into a violent and depraved Lord of the Flies style brutal self-rule. There's a lot of competition for the most horrific location in The Last of Us, but the utterly repugnant and disgusting people here make Pittsburgh a strong contender for that title. And as it turns out, it's all the Fireflies' fault, at least sort of. Hidden in a forgotten basement in the city, you can find the long, desiccated corpse of a Firefly, and nearby is this text log. It reads, "We don't need the Fireflies. Sure, they might have started the fight, but we're the ones who have done all the work. It's our blood in the streets. I don't agree with them wanting to take the fight to other cities. They need to earn their independence on their own. And I definitely won't take orders from some Firefly leader all the way on the other side of the country. Before the fighting ends, I suggest we rid ourselves of them. This is our city, our people. I don't see why we can't rule ourselves." This note reveals that it was the Fireflies who began the resistance movement against Fedra in Pittsburgh, who led the attack on the government soldiers, who are responsible for the independence of the city, and so at least partially responsible for the horror that it has become. After defeating Fedra, the hunters of Pittsburgh turned on their Firefly leaders, which should have been one of the Fireflies' greatest victories, became one of their worst mistakes. Pittsburgh should have been the first foothold in the restoration of the United States of America. Instead, it was just one more step on the country's descent into violence, chaos, and brutality. With this background, I think the writers want players to question the competence of the Fireflies as an organization. The Fireflies were incapable of actually governing even a single city. They lost control immediately. Their idealistic resistance movement spawned an even more horrific and bloody ongoing disaster. Is this who we are going to trust with a cure? Is this who we are going to trust with restoring the American government? But there's one more mention of the Fireflies in Pittsburgh, this one much more positive, continuing to complicate their role within the story. While trying to escape,
Get inside, fast!
and Ellie stumble into another pair of survivors, Henry and Sam. In the sort of silence once together, Henry and Joel have a chance to discuss their plans. We're going to watch that scene together. As you watch, I want you to pay attention to Henry this time. What is his perspective on all this? And what do the Fireflies symbolize for him? Alright, here it is. So where were you going?
Fuck! Do you think they saw us?
Something funny? Obviously seems like there's a lot of people putting their stock on
Your
fire.
guess is as good as
Yeah,
mine.
maybe there's reasons for that. You don't know where they are. You're just gonna drag them across the country to fight them. I tell you what.
What the hell happened here? I thought this place was supposed to be secure.
What always happens, I guess. In the end, the dead always win.
Oh man, we are so screwed.
No, this is good.
Once again, Joel's behavior is a bit dismissive and condescending. Just look at his body language, the way he scoffs. And in contrast, watch Henry's body language, the way he leans forward, quickly he moves, the way he bounces in his chair a little.
I agree. So long as we don't let him box us in, we can still do this. The plan hasn't changed. The plan hasn't changed.
You're going to drag your little brother through all of this, through all this danger, all this horror, maybe hundreds of
No,
miles
you want to do a
away,
head
and you
count?
don't even
Or do you
know
want to
where
get what we need and get the
you
hell
don't
out
even
of
know
here?
where you're going or how far you'll have to go. We will have
Come on,
already
I think I know which way to
how much
head.
Henry cares about Sam, how protective he is of his little brother. This must be a pretty
I got a
serious goal
bad
for
feeling
you, putting
about
Sam's
this.
life in danger for. Just like Tess, the Fireflies offer Henry hope. Something to fight for, something to search for, something to be excited about. And that is something special in this world. This total nightmare where nothing good ever seems to happen. Of course, Henry and Sam's search for the Fireflies ends in tragic failure. For these two, the Fireflies' hope proves to be a false one, foreshadowing the disappointment which
Just
Joel and
keep
Ellie's
moving.
journey will end in too. In the next section, the story offers an alternative choice. Something different from both the grim military oppression of Fedra, and the fleeting false hope of the Fireflies' revolution. This third choice is represented by Jackson, Wyoming, a survivor settlement which is independent of any other
Everybody
faction,
in.
self-sustaining, based on ideas of community and family, working together to build something greater than any individual would be capable of alone. This third way is made even more striking by the fact that one of its leaders is Tommy, Joel's brother, and more importantly, a former Firefly. I think that Jackson is the most damning evidence for the misguided nature of the Fireflies' mission. Tommy used to believe in the Fireflies. He fought for them. He bled for them. But in the end, he turned his back on their revolution. With the Fireflies, he never really accomplished anything. Without the Fireflies, he helped to build this, the safest, most peaceful location in the entire game. The closest these characters ever get to anything resembling
Like they
a
were
normal
using
life.
this room
If
as
the
some
writers
kind of
really
command
wanted us to
center.
believe in the competence and capabilities of the Fireflies, wanted us to
Okay,
believe
so
that
now
not
what?
only could
Where
they
do we start
manufacture a cure, but that they could use that cure to build a better world, we would need to see the Fireflies doing something like this, building communities like this one, but we never do. But I'm getting ahead of myself again. After departing from Jackson, Joel and Ellie journey to the University of Eastern
Just give me a
Colorado, a supposed research base run by the Fireflies. However, by the time they arrive, the Fireflies are already gone. According to audio logs left by a senior researcher, now dead, the Fireflies
Where
have
would be
made
the
no
best place to
progress
look for
in their
medicine?
search for a cure in years.
Right
There's
here.
not much more
Nurse's
to add to
station.
the story of
They
the
were using it
Fireflies
as a
at
medical
this location. The university is mostly a repeat
How do
of
you
their
know that?
previous portrayals. Once again, the Fireflies are on the retreat.
Just
Once
makes
again,
sense,
they
doesn't
have
it?
failed. Moving on to the final act of the game, Joel and Ellie reach Salt Lake City, home of
Any
the
idea
Fireflies
where we could find a
headquarters.
battery?
I want to watch two short cutscenes here.
Maybe
In
at the
these
auto
cutscenes, the
shop.
Fireflies
There
will
used to
finally
be one in the
appear on
alley
screen,
outside the
finally
fire
interact
escape.
with our main characters,
Yep, it's
and
called
pay
Herman's. You
really
can't miss it.
close attention to how the
about the
writers are
fuel?
choosing
Where
to
should I
portray
start
it,
looking?
because I think there is something surprising here. Okay,
There's a
here it is.
maintenance shed across from the playground here. If they were storing fuel, that's probably where it'll be.
Okay, I'll make the run to the maintenance shed for the fuel.
It'll be faster if I go with you. I can take you right to it.
I'll come too. No, 2 people's enough. You stay here, see if you can use any of those tools we brought to get that armory door open. We might need to shoot our way out of here.
I'll go for the medicine.
I'll come with you. I know what to take.
Okay,
Yeah.
guess that leaves me to go find us a battery.
I'll go with you. Watch your back.
Okay, we've got a plan. Everyone be careful. Stay close to one another. We'll all meet back here. Good luck.
It moved. You need an excuse. Which way?
What about me? What can I do?
I need you to stay here with Ben and watch over our command center. I'm putting you in charge of it, okay?
You're leaving me with Ben?
I'm not leaving you with Ben. I'm leaving him with you.
Throughout this
Understand?
story, the Fireflies represented hope, something to fight for. Joel and Ellie have spent the whole game trying to reach them, believing that something good would happen when they did, something that would make all this horror and suffering worthwhile. The Fireflies were supposed to offer salvation to a violent and ruined world. The Fireflies were supposed to be different than everyone else. They were supposed to be better. They were supposed to be the light in the darkness. And now, when they finally appear on screen, it turns out they are just as contemptible as everyone else. They are bullies. They are vindictive. They are cruel. They behave like villains. When they encounter a man performing CPR on a child, their response is not to help, not to ask questions, but instead to immediately club him in the back of the head. In a text log, it's revealed that they wanted to kill Joel here, for no apparent reason, just for convenience sake. The guy who fought across hundreds of miles to deliver their cure to them. It was only Marlene's intervention that saved them, and she not out of simple mercy, but a much more convoluted desire to preserve the life of someone who understands the decision she has to make. Afterwards, this soldier is needlessly antagonistic towards Joel, making it hard to sympathize with him when he is later killed. This choice of betrayal by the writers really confuses me. If you wanted us to sympathize with the Fireflies, to feel compassion for them, to want them to succeed, why did you portray